Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It all comes down to this. What can the Chicago Cubs accomplish in game 3, hosted at Wrigley Field? Listen, the stars are going to be out literally and figuratively because the game will go into the nighttime. But at the same time, Zambrano's going to be there. Ferguson Jenkins going to be there. It's going to be a really, really, really cool night. Hopefully it's a great night for the Chicago Cubs offense and defense as Jameson Taillon takes the mound, and we ask one simple thing of him: be clutch. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. And once again, I'm your host, Mike Jones. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode. I appreciate you, and everybody that tunes in, whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on Apple, whether you are on X, or whether you are on YouTube, whether you're on Twitch, or wherever you may find this podcast at. Thank you. It means the world to me that you spend some time listening to me talk about the Chicago Cubs. Now, with that being said, the Chicago Cubs do play a closeout game, potential closeout game. Let's call it a potential closeout game against the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Division Series. And the Chicago Cubs and one Jameson Taillon must come up clutch. Now, Jameson Taillon came into game 3 against the San Diego Padres and delivered a masterclass on how to shut down a high-powered offense. Obviously, like I said, the Brewers offense doesn't have the home run power. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that after last game, but theoretically, the Brewers don't have the same home run power as the Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Xander Bogaerts, and the rest of those guys that play for San Diego. So you think to yourself that if he's able to do that against the Padres and shut them down, then he should be able to do the same against the Brewers, right? Let's hope so, because we want more Chicago Cubs baseball. If the Chicago Cubs should win the Wednesday matchup, then they will turn around and play again Thursday, right back to it. And again, like I said, I don't hate it at all. I think that it is great for baseball to prolong these series and to have them go as long as possible. And the Chicago Cubs need to be clutch. No other way to put it, no other way to get around it. The Chicago Cubs need to extend this series, and in order to do that, they're going to have to be clutch. They are going to have to make smart decisions. Craig Counsell, once again, is going to have to manage his ass off, and he's going to have to get some offense from his hitters. His hitters are going to see a pitcher that they necessarily didn't fare the best against last in the regular season. Who is that pitcher that they're going to see? It's going to be Priester, who was 13-3 during the season with a 3.32 our ERA, going up against Jameson Taillon, who was 11-7 with a 3.68 ERA during the regular season. These two are going to go head to head. Priester was 2-1 versus the Cubs. He won the last 2 games he pitched against the Cubs. In both of those games, Andrew Vaughn stood out and was in the lineup for both of those games. Andrew Vaughn has been a thorn in the Chicago Cubs side as far as the last 2 games go that they've played. Jameson Taillon was also 2-1 versus the Brewers in the August 19th game. It's good to note that Andrew Vaughn was in the lineup for that game too, but Kyle Tucker was not in the lineup for the Cubs. Taillon in that game only gave up 1 run. So just looking at the consistencies of how these two pitched and the 2 best people that they've seen, Taillon on his May 3rd matchup gave up 2 earned runs. He gave up 5 earned runs on June 19th, and he gave up 1 earned run on August 19th. So these are the numbers of what he's given up against the Brewers this season. I think that Taillon needs to prepare himself, and I believe that he will prepare himself. I know that Murphy's going to have Priester ready to go also. So it's going to be a very, very intriguing matchup for the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. Um, like I said, for the most part, Jameson Taillon has pitched well against the Brewers in his career. Again, I liken to think that he is going to show up in this game. The biggest question is, can the Chicago Cubs offer him run support? That's what's really going to be the question here, is where is the run support going to come from? But that's not just going to be the question for this game. That's going to be the question as we go out throughout the rest of this postseason. Because Chicago Cubs arms are just running on gas, man. Not having Cade Horton, not having Justin Steele, not having guys that can just generate outs. These guys are running on gas right now. Shohei Managa has not pitched well, like I said, since June to me. He just hasn't looked like himself. Like I said, Jameson Taillon has multiple stints on the IL. And then, of course, Matthew Boyd, the last month of the season, really looked to start dipping. But again, we're on uncharted territory with Matthew Boyd due to his injuries and everything like that. So you look at this game and you look around and you say to yourself, Jameson Taillon is our best shot to at least take one game. Now, what the Chicago Cubs have to do and what their mindset has to be is just to play this one game at a time, one game at a time, one out at a time. Do what you have to do. Take care of business on that play to continue this series. You can't get lost in the sauce and be thinking, innings ahead or trying to think things like that. Leave all that to Craig. I believe Craig and Tommy Hotovy have a plan. Now, whether that plan works or not remains to be seen, but I do believe they have a plan. So for the Chicago Cubs, it's going to be paramount that the players go out and just play their best, play their game, do what they're supposed to do, and handle business. This Brewers team is a beatable team. They are not unbeatable. I know it may seem like they're unbeatable right now, but like I said, you're looking at going to play at Wrigley in cold weather. It was a high of 68 today, around the city of Chicago. So I'm expecting the weather to play a factor. I'm expecting the cold weather to knock some balls down, to keep some balls in the park that might fly out normally. I'm expecting the Chicago Cubs to do what they have to do and play their part defensively, limit the errors. Dansby Swanson and also Nico Horner. You guys have to be clutch, as well, and handle business. Handle business. This is what it comes down to. Because if you don't handle business, you're out. Point blank. Period. Handle your business. Go, like I said, treat it like it's a do or die game, and handle your business. Treat it like you want to play more baseball. And again, like I said, I think the Chicago Cubs have everything that it takes to win this game and continue the series to Thursday. Now, what happens from there? We remains to be seen. Like I said, who pitches, who does what? I mean, do you go back to Matthew Boyd again? Do you look at somebody like Colin Ray? Do you look at maybe a Ben Brown for the next game after that to start for you? Remains to be seen. There's many options out there. The Chicago Cubs have to choose who they want to be and what they want to be. I probably personally wouldn't mind potentially handing the ball to Ben Brown and seeing what he can do, since he's pitched so well against the Brewers in his career. That's one conundrum they just have not been able to figure out, is Ben Brown. So, I mean, like I said, we'll see what happens, but the Chicago Cubs have to figure out how to win a baseball game. Take it one game at a time. We're going to talk about who needs to step up next.
I have been talking ad nauseum, and I still will continue to talk about the product, the brand that has changed my life and can change yours too. What's that product? It's Dubby. It's an all-natural energy supplement that you can take on the daily to help you get through those urges, those moments when you want to nap, then when you hit the cliff, or if you had a long night the night before and need to get through another crazy day of the hustle and bustle, the 9 to 5, whatever you got going on. Dubby is your energy drink. That's right. Not to mention, when you buy a container of Dubby, it actually equals out to almost $1 per drink. You can mix it in with whatever you want, whether that be a juice, whether that be a water, whether that be some type of other energy flavored drink, whatever you want, you can mix Dubby with it and it will do the trick for you. Guys, I don't understand what you're waiting on. Dubby takes care of everything for you. All you have to do is go on to the Dubby website and place your order. And at this time, when you do that, all you have to do is put in Cubs Central Pod 2024. That's right, Cubs Central Pod 2024. And you get 10% off on your W order. That's right. Hey, listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, Jitterless Energy. They have all different types of different flavors for you. W has what you need. Be better with W. The Chicago Cubs are going to need big performances throughout the rest of this series in order to beat the Brewers. And one of the people that I believe has to step up the most is the man that's in a contract year, the man that wants to, garner all the support and all of this money and all of these different things. And that's Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker, y'all, in this postseason has an average of .176, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. This postseason just has not been it for Kyle Tucker. And I get it, granted, he may be dealing with an injury, but as we have seen, teams are unwilling, outside of the Dodgers, are unwilling to sign guys to these long-term contracts unless they know Dodgers, Mets, unless they know for a fact that they're going to, pan out. And Kyle Tucker, the Dodgers may be the place for him again. And I've told you guys all along on this channel that we may need to be prepared for Kyle Tucker not to resign with the Chicago Cubs. He may already have a crib in LA for all we know. I don't know what the Dodgers are going to offer him. The Giants usually are in play somehow, some way, for a dynamic player like that. Whatever the pay is, I think the Chicago Cubs have to take the chance on letting him walk. And it's due to injury. It's also due to inconsistency. It's also due to I have believed for the longest time. I just don't think Kyle Tucker wants to play here. I think he got traded here. I think he was cool with that. Whatever. I do think he enjoys the boys. I think he enjoys the team. But at the same time, I don't think he wants to long term be a Chicago Cub. I could be wrong on that. Part of me hopes I'm wrong on that. But I just don't see the Cubs paying the type of money that the Dodgers or the Mets aren't in the market for Kyle Tucker unless they want to put him out there in left field. But I doubt that. But they just the Cubs aren't going to be able to offer that type of money. They just aren't. Could the Cubs then go after somebody like a Pete Alonso? Potentially. Depends on what type of money Pete Alonso wants. But pitching is really the key here, guys. If we're looking at who is successful, if you look at who's successful, it doesn't actually start with the offense. It really starts with their defense. Their defensive players as well as their pitching is what is winning these series. So again, like I said, you got a masterful performance, at a Matthew Boyd in game one. Then game two, like I said, was a crapshoot. But then game three, you got a massive performance from Jameson Taillon. So now you look to the next series and you say to yourself, okay, what can you get out of Jameson Taillon? Matthew Boyd got touched up real quick, and then Shohei Managa got real touched up. So can Jameson Taillon on the Normal's rest come in and offer to you what you need as a Chicago Cubs? And I'm hoping that he can. It's going to be a short leash. I know that for a fact. So, like I said, we'll just see what happens. But I truly believe the Chicago Cubs will win this game. I do think that they will take game three and extend this series out versus the Brewers. Maybe another game. It may go till Saturday. Who knows? We'll just have to still watch and see. But again, the Chicago Cubs have to do what they have to do. They have to go all out to try to win this game and potentially win this series. And they can. They absolutely can do that. It just all depends on if they can put it together offensively and defensively. And Kyle Tucker has to be one of the people to step up. That's my time, y'all. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Do not forget, we are live streaming the game. Start time is 4:08 for first pitch from Wrigley Field. Like I said, join me right here on Chicago Cubs Central, a part of the Chi-Town Sports Central network. Also join me on Playback TV. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. Until next time, go Cubs, go.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.